Don't you wish you were the fun parent who never got into arguments with their child, were best friends with their child, always had kids over at their house, and never really had any rules? Well, although this might seem the easiest way, it is not the most effective style of parenting. There are 4 different styles of parenting, and the best is known as authoritative. Why is it the best? Well, first, what are the 4 types of parenting? 4 types of parenting are permissive, authoritative, authoritarian, and uninvolved. Permissive best explains the example given in the beginning about a parent who is not really in their child's life and just lets them do whatever they would like. Authoritative is the best because it gives the child freedom, yet still boundaries and guidelines. Authoritarian is mostly just guidelines, controlling, and very strict. Uninvolved is usually not talked about because it is rare and only used in some cases. So what is authoritative parenting? So authoritative parenting has reasonable demands, but still gives some freedom, and the parent has to be very involved in their child's life to perform authoritative parenting. This is because they need to be able to give their child appropriate advice and help when they need it. The child does need to have some freedom so that they can learn from their own consequences. If the child is constantly being told what to do, they're never going to learn from when they make a mistake on their own. This leads to creating the most independent child, which is what we all want from our children. It is important that the parent lets the child do everything that they are able to do. When the parent is constantly doing everything that the child is able to do, then it's just letting the child not be as independent, which is ultimately what a parent would like to make out of their child, is a successful adult. Permissive, which is the type of parenting talked about in the beginning, is just what it sounds like. It gives the child a lot of freedom. They are more worried about the child's happiness than their successfulness. This often leads to the child demeaning the parent, and that is not good for a household when the parent should be in charge, because the kid is still a kid and they need help and they need advice. And although it might be great to be their best friend, it can also lead to the child talking their mom or dad into letting them do whatever they want, which can lead to even worse situations as using substances they aren't supposed to and getting into trouble with their friends, which is of course not what the parent wants. But because the parent thinks, oh, well, this is easy, they usually fall into that trap. But it's really important to give the child guidance and tips. Authoritarian is the opposite of that, and that's giving way too much help and advice. Now, these types of parents usually have such high demands, and they're very strict and can be overbearing and known as helicopter parents. No one wants to be known as a helicopter mom, but some people are just like that because they think they know what's best for their child. Although this might be true, they're not creating the most independent and successful child. A popular term for authoritarian parenting is called tiger parenting. These are usually stereotyped as Asian parents, and the Time magazine has done several articles about Amy Chow, who has called herself a tiger mom. Her child had once given her a birthday card that she had handmade, and Amy just threw it back at her and said, "I deserve better than this, so I reject it." That seems to be just going too far and not even accepting the little things in life. Many of us would think that something like a handmade birthday card given to a parent by a child, the parent should be nothing but grateful back to the child. And that's where authoritarian and tiger parenting can be taken out of hand. And although the parent might think my way or the highway is the best, it's not letting the child learn from their own mistakes. So what is the best style of parenting? Well, it's authoritative. For many reasons, as I've already stated, but to sum it up, it takes positive characteristics from authoritarian and permissive and brings them into one, giving the child some boundaries and some discipline, but also giving them freedom so that they can grow and become independent adults, which is what every parent wants their child to become.